Nice.
I also agree that opening the door is what started the fire.
Just as I thought. It was the wind pressure. A dust devil blowing in glorious Japan!
No, not wind pressure.
What?
They probably used the Monokuma panels. A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right? It looked like they were scattered everywhere.
I wouldn't
Some
have
were
guessed
laying
that
on
on
top
mine.
of each other in a single
Until
line.
this exact moment.
Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Almost too convenient.
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
No,
In
not that
place of
kind
those
of domino.
tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second. And from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
That's awful bold.
Wouldn't it be obvious that those
Assuming
big
that they would
panels
fall
were
in the exact way to
falling
make that work.
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
Killer did one other thing to hide the domino effect. This one.
I see!
Hey.
Oh,
You're talking about the MP3 player, right? That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
The inside of the warehouse felt even darker because our eyes were still getting used to the bright sunlight outside. Within that darkness, a loud hymnal blared throughout the warehouse at full volume. Hey, you guys hear some? Wait, that's Alkane.
hey, you guys hear something?
Music. Yeah, it's real damn loud. Does Nagito like listening to this depressing crap?
No, I'm not talking about the music.
As if on cue, it suddenly started.
That's
Akane
it.
heard it.
So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
Oh shit, that's me. It's fine. I'll open it slowly.
No, that's not the problem.
Seriously, it'll be fine.
With those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse. Clatter, clatter, clatter.
Huh? It's not opening. Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it. I knew it. It's a trap. Seriously, just stop it, okay? Didn't I tell you it'd be fine?
Hi,
I just
Ambria.
it almost works.
What happened to opening it slowly? Akane ignored their protest and with a mighty kick, the door flew open.
Ah, so the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
Would it be
And
that
when we
heavy?
opened the door, the
Oh.
domino effect started. and
Well,
the
if there was a
falling
bunch of them
panels
stacked
eventually
on
reached
top
the
of each
lighter.
other, like, it would be pretty heavy.
Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire.
Cool.
At least, that's how it looks.
Okay.
It makes a lot of sense.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the
Sorry, my fucking OBS is not having it.
Because
barely
the
opened the
panel
door.
was blocking it, right?
Sure.
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Is that a problem?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
So that means...
So that door was the only
That-
entrance to the warehouse. So the problem Chiaki's talking about is...
the killer couldn't have left. There's only one entrance in it. There's
I see!
the door that you had was the only entrance and exit.
If the panel was
Ambria,
so
say
close
something
to
else
the
in
door
the chat
that
when
it
you
could
have a
barely
second,
be
if you're still
open,
here.
the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Now that you mention it.
I keep
Does
forgetting I don't
that
have
mean
to
they were
talk.
hiding inside?
I know.
Ooh, we were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
You don't have to think so hard. there's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
Nagito? Huh?
You don't mean...
But if that's true, this murder...
Hajime? What do you mean?
Oh, we figured that out pretty fast. The person who set up the domino effect inside the warehouse, there's only one person who could have done that. What the fuck is this trial supposed to be? If we find out that fast?
Imagine
This is my answer.
it was a suicide.
What if it was Nagito?
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
He wasn't just the
What?
victim. Maybe.
Thanks, Chiaki.
Chiaki, living respect.
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
What the fuck
He was
do you
the
think it
It
victim.
means?
means
And
that...
he was the
shut
perpetrator,
the
too. Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid.
Okay.
His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget? Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
Sure.
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
Glad we can agree.
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember? Even
On
for a
one
creep
arm.
like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Not really.
Yeah, you're right.
One of his arms was free.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Need to discuss? That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
Like you said, it seems impossible if you think about it, but... If they're figuring this out this early, now I'm thinking it's not him. There's no way the trial's this short. I feel like I'm overlooking something. I thought I was all clever.
What?
I fucking...
I'm so confused.
To
I thought
actually
it
tie
was
up
like-
your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible.
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
Okay.
To actually tie up your own arms. No, that's wrong.
You fucked.
I'm so...
Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
Okay. His right sleeve?
I see.
Yeah. Because the other sleeve was...
Take it
It's not
closer
burnt.
at his right sleeve.
It's not burnt.
Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
No.
A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural.
Okay.
That rope was
That's
burned in
true.
advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
Kane.
Akane, you should not give it away for free.
Yeah!
They pay you first.
Woo!
That's
Into that.
definitely wrong.
No, we love
Fine.
Queen Sonia in
I
this
just gotta
household.
get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
Kane, please!
That's not what I
This is
meant.
a
I'm
murder
talking
trial.
about Nagito. I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know?
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with
Wait,
your
wait,
right hand.
Hajime, you tricked me! Give me back that Benjamin!
You never handed it to me! Not only did she try to charge me, now she wants the money back? What the heck?
Hold on. There should be a way.
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
Way to stab yourself in your right hand using your right hand. Definitely an answer for this. Knife tricks. Blood on the girder.
Even if
This?
Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife
He's
somehow
a lucky student.
and slammed his right hand down on it?
Monokuma
Propped it
plushie.
onto what?
Probably the propped one.
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand.
I'm gonna try.
Even if Nagito's right hand, how could he stab his?
If he threw the knife and let the knife, could he stab his hand? Is he a throwing knife? That maybe he propped the knife somehow?
Nice.
I agree with that.
Nice.
I agree with that.
The life-size Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop the knife.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach.
And blood on it.
He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it.
Bitch.
If that's it,
You take self-harm
he
to
had
a whole
place the
nother
plushie
level.
near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
I see.
Yeah.
So that's the trick.
Sure.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
After
Doll hair
stabbing
don't
his
grow.
hand, he no longer needed the plushie. So he cast it off toward
Incorrect.
the
I had a
fire's
Dora
origin
the
point.
Explorer doll whose hair grew.
He probably thought
Well,
the fire would incinerate
you're
it and
cursed.
destroy the evidence.
So what do you
True.
think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem. The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito
This one I have a
committed
better
suicide
idea.
by impaling himself with a spear.
The fuck?
If you think
Yeah.
about the
Fucking
order,
cord.
getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito. If
Correct.
that's true, how is that possible? He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
There is a limit to his constitution. If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Bet you would know all about that, Sonia. Don't
I'm sorry, I
Don't.
didn't catch all that.
Don't speak.
Like I said, if you got
Ah!
penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die
Sonia.
instantly.
Leave her alone.
Say it one more
Oh my god, I'm leaving.
Meet it
That's
here.
it. That's it. That's my limit. I'm done.
I think
Bye, guys.
Kazuichi is
I'm
the
back,
killer,
I'm back.
and I think we should kill him.
Hey, bastard!
Can we
better
all vote
cut
on
it
him?
out.
Can we
I
throw
vote
this
Kazuichi.
match and just take one for the
Like she
team?
said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear. It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stab into your
I'm-
right hand, while your left hand is tied up.
That caused me pain.
So you're saying it's impossible?
But no matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else.
I also agree with that.
What the fuck am I missing? What am I missing?
To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never
You
believe
know,
that.
Fuck
you know
you
what I'm missing?
mean
My
you
world
can't
will live.
believe that? We're on trial number 5. I can
Missing
totally
my world
believe
will live
that.
After hearing Kazuichi and Sonia say what they
You just
said.
don't want to believe it, but that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again,
Monokuma
right?
said what I'm thinking.
Same goes for this time, too.
You just shut your mouth. It's against the rules to interfere with everyone. If you even think about doing anything, I have a plan of my own.
Ain't nobody asked.
Monomi's sassing me.
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far. So this might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted. and it's too convenient.
Then are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi?
How could that be?
Of course, that doesn't include
No one's ever
Sony
killed anyone on this godforsaken
As
island.
Kazuichi said, it's true we've been constantly betrayed. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone. No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to
Chiaki,
believe in everyone.
Never change.
I also want to believe that there's no killer.
Chiaki, I love
But
you. And
suicide
you're
is
the only one who has a
unimaginable.
brain cell.
Do you really think so?
Suicide's unimaginable? What the fuck?
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition.
I did say difficult, but I never said impossible.
Huh?
I feel that there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear.
What kind of way?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It's impossible to figure out by myself. So let's think about it together. That's how we made it this far up till now.
Love you.
Everyone working together.
You're my new favorite. She's right. We've made it through several ordeals up till now by doing that. Then even now.
Alright, let's do this.
Alright.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand.
No!
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong!
Hold on. It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand.
Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know?
But there was something off about his left hand. The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looked somewhat strange?
No.
He only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the bloodstain suddenly cuts off, right?
When the blood splattered,
Yeah, man.
that's as far as it reached, right?
That settles the description of that bloodstain, but it's not the only unnatural bloodstain. Look, there's blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his fingers.
Like you said, it looks like an unnatural bloodstain, but what's wrong with that?
We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit. If there's blood on his palm and the back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood splattered?
Jacking off.
I see! When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand. That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
What the Well, that's what I said, actually.
Perish the
Can't even
thought!
get upset.
He was obviously grabbing the spear.
Hate it here.
Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild. He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
Okay. That's right, that's the
Hey,
problem.
Chiaki, what do you think? Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy.
At times like this, you should always strike from a good angle. Just like fixing an old TV.
Oh,
Why do
I
you
got
speak
it.
for no point?
Maybe.
For no reason.
Really?
Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear, I think. However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping.
Okay. The cord.
I see!
This part I'd guessed
That's it.
already.
Instead of the handle,
Oh.
Nagito must have been holding on to the cord. There was a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too. Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like
He
it was
even
cut
said
off
it was
by
shaped
something.
like a human fist.
Isn't the size of that cut-off section
Yeah, that's exactly.
about the same size as
Exactly
a
what I
human
said.
fist?
Ah, you're right. So this is the part Nagito was gripping, huh? And then the blood that was supposed to end up here ended up getting on Nagito's left hand.
But why is it so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping?
You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear
Over
around
on the
and
girder.
stabbed himself, right?
That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides. Right, Chiaki? I am sorry. Of course this mystery will not be solved that easily.
Nagito is gripping the cord extending from the butt of the spear with his left hand. But from there, how would he stab himself in the stomach with a spear?
It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time?
At a time like this, how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once?
That's a long
I
plan
respect it,
name.
Chiaki.
One step at a
We'll
time.
call it Plan
What
Zeta.
does that mean?
Let's focus on the spear
Plan,
first.
stop being fucking
Namely,
stupid.
where
That's
it was
also a
and
long
how it
plan
was
name,
positioned
Maki.
just before it impaled Nagito.
It's shorter
was
than the
position?
first plan that she suggested.
Understandable. Spear stabbed through the stomach, so if it's just before that. That's it. Could it be? Stay the spear, and the fact that Nagito was holding the tip of the cord attachment. If I put those two together and think about it, I should be able to figure it out. Where the spear was and what state it was in before it stabbed Nagito. I don't want to do the logic dive. Okay,
Logic
fine.
dive.
I suck at the logic dive. No! Alright.
I got a big brain right now. I really don't, but it's okay.
I mean, why? I mean, this part I think I know. I hate that it pops up. Ah! Where's the spear? It's above him. Drop down.
It went ha-cha into his stomach.
Sucks. This sucked! Ah! No! Leave me alone! Ah, I'm gay! Let me stop
I don't
yelling.
think they care.
What else was above him? The ceiling girder. Why? You think everyone else in the trial is just like, ah, there he goes again. Off on his mental fucking crusade.
Hajime is just silent and mumbling to himself, and they're
Like, ah,
What?
alright. Understandable.
like, alright. Sonia's like, so can we have tea now?
Yeah!
And Chiaki's like, fucking pour the tea. God.
Fucking poor bitch.
She's like, I hate it here. Chiaki's like, how would
Fucking jumped.
yump.
Oh god. Afraid. Jesus Christ. Hell yeah.
It's all coming together.
Is it?
Yeah, man.
Did I just break my chair?
It's all coming
The
together!
spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that.
Okay.
Perpendicular. In the middle of the air?
If Nagito did that all by himself, did he have some sort of ESP?
That'd be awesome, but he'd probably use the ceiling girder directly above him.
Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder, and using that as a support, he hoisted the spear directly above him. And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up.
I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. It probably got smeared there during the setup.
The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder as the spear was falling.
That's what Chiaki just said.
So, how about it? Using this method, Nagito could have impaled himself with the spear.
Are you serious? He really committed suicide? Like that?
Are we really surprised?
Probably chose that spear so he could commit suicide like that. If someone else did this, there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear.
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was. Why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently?
So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick?
Then, this is for real? He really committed suicide?
What am I
Every
missing?
single wound on his body. That was all him?
Why is this trial going so fast? I don't like
Not
it.
just that, he did all
so
that while he
confused.
was gripping
Actually,
a
trial
spear?
5 went pretty fast in the first game too, actually.
That spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end. Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right?
Did he put the duct tape on his mouth too?
I mean, he would have had to do
Probably
everything.
covered his own mouth so we wouldn't hear him screaming in pain.
Did he need to go that far?
I
That's
mean,
beyond crazy.
It almost
Why would
fooled
he
you,
do
idiots.
that to himself?
For fun, I don't know.
He was
Regular
probably
Tuesday.
trying to get us to make a mistake.
You know, be like
Committing
that.
a suicide that looked like a murder. He was trying to steer us toward the wrong answer. His goal was to get us all executed.
And that's why
Damn.
he stabbed himself over and over again?
Did he want us to die that bad?
That's messed up. It's seriously so messed up.
Yeah, that's our Nagito.
Jeez, I'm starting to feel a little sympathetic toward him. How stupid of me. When? When were you feeling sympathetic towards him? Completely
didn't
underestimated
tell
his
us.
capacity for malice. Mind-boggling malice that threatens us even after he's died. That's the form his malice took. Let me say malice a few more times, just in case you didn't realize that I'm talking about his malice. I'd forgotten all about it till now. If he was here now, he'd probably be sneering at me.
However, there is one
You did
thing
hate
I
me.
still do not understand. He said he would reveal the traitor, right? Whatever became of that?
He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us.
So why did he not just do that in the first place? If he had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor.
Oh, fuck, it is Chiaki.
I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick.
Oh no.
I mean, if the bomb scare was the trick, then yeah, it has to be.
He made us split up and search for
I
a
don't
bomb so
want-
none of us would have
I want.
alibi.
Actually, I want to believe there is no fucking traitor.
He created
Please,
a scenario
I'm
where any of
begging.
us could have killed him.
He tried to make us doubt each other. And tried to hide the truth behind his suicide.
Did he cause a bomb scare for that reason alone?
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of grandeur. It's not that unthinkable.
You are right, I suppose.
What am I missing here?
It appears we've come to a conclusion. Bastard Nagito committed
Who's
suicide.
getting executed?
It was all done by him so we'd be executed.
That should be okay.
I'm so stressed.
Right?
What? You're not satisfied yet?
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense. It's probably just my imagination.
What? I mean, I sort of understand what she's talking about. I don't think it's a mistake to assume that Nagito committed suicide, but why do I feel so uneasy about it? Because your lives are on the line? It's because we don't know who the traitor is, or...
So what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes.
You are right. It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion.
Then it's okay to end it here, huh? That means we're done with this last class trial and we can leave this island, right? It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right?
Then it's okay? It's okay to say, you've decided on
I don't like the way he's saying that.
Understood. Then voting time.
No, hold on a sec.
Hold on. Why?
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more. I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
Like who the traitor is?
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change.
That's true, but
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is.
Huh?
No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is? What kind of mystery is left?
There's just one thing that doesn't make sense, and it relates to Nagito's death. Plus,
What the
it's something
fire
even Nagito
retardants?
couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it.
Something related to Nagito's death, and it's something that even he couldn't have messed with.
You're gonna keep going? Here, I thought we were finally
The
finished.
time of death? Something related to Naga's death, a piece of evidence that even he couldn't mess with.
Hang on.
We've used most of these.
The file.
Well, is this the mystery?
Crap!
No, no,
Okay.
maybe the poison?
Piece of evidence related to Nagito's death that he couldn't mess with. Is it an account?
Possibly?
It has to be something he couldn't mess with. He had the book. So... Is it the Monokuma file, maybe? Oh, yeah, he can't mess with the Monokuma file. But what in here doesn't make sense, other than the time of death? Okay. Well, I guess it's the time of death, right?
I think so.
I see!
Don't know why that's relevant.
Is it about the Monokuma file?
Yeah, that's it.
Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file?
The victim is Nagito Komaeda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. Estimated time to death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed through his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. So the time of death's the only thing that doesn't really make sense, I guess. What's hidden in the Monokuma file? Ugh!
Yeah, it's time. Wait, what?
Hello? Fuck it. Hello? Okay, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I'm calling shenanigans. What? Cause of death.
Yeah, cause of death.
Okay, fuck up. This is I can't handle this much. I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm just ignoring it. What the fuck else? Okay, fucking. Okay, this is ridiculous. Fucking Christ. Cool. Not like I needed that. Where's my health at? Are we good?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You're like
I can't handle that much at once. I'm looking for letters and it's like.
I know. I was trying to
In
help
this
you. It was
particular
literally
case's
like
Monokuma file, there's no
that
specific
was
cause of death.
PTS.
Okay.
Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified the cause of death.
But the cause of death is obvious, is it not? The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was the cause of
So he
death.
poisoned himself? I don't. That still means he
It's
killed
not
himself.
included if it's not important enough to write about.
Well, Monokuma,
I plead the fifth!
There he goes again! I'm so appalled that I have nothing to say.
For someone who has nothing to
Even
say, you
during
sure are saying a
Gunman's
lot.
case, and before during Nikon's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was always the most important mystery in the case.
Are you saying that applies this time too?
Hold on a sec. Then, are you saying there's
He's the
more
one
to
who had the
Nagito's
poison.
death? Are you suggesting, again, that his death wasn't a suicide?
You guys were the ones who said it was a suicide in the first place.
No, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide, but...
Is it possible that the poison gas, like, entered the room when someone did something, so someone unknowingly killed him?
Possibly?
But it's not just a suicide.
Because I'm struggling to see where the poison comes into play here.
I know, I'm very
And
confused.
they were very specific about the gas being what's
Come to
dangerous.
think of it, did Nagito really commit suicide just to get us all killed?
Are you sticking up for him?
That's not what I meant. I mean it in a bad sense.
Cool.
Bad
Thanks for
sense?
specifying.
I just remembered that his malice always defied our expectations, and that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here?
Huh?
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily? I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know?
How interesting! You sure do believe in Nagito, huh? Because
He's
you
dead.
believe in his malice, you continue
Why
to
do we
suspect
keep
his
saying malice?
I see. I guess that's what
He's
passes
always
for
dead.
friendship
Stop talking
these
bad about
days.
him.
Motherfucker's dead.
What friendship?
What should we do, you guys? Should we proceed with the vote? I think we should keep going until everyone is satisfied. Even if it's just to be safe.
You're right. We only get one chance to vote after all.
Just to be safe, huh? Guess I have no choice. If that's the case, I'll
You were
do
the
my
one
best
who
to go along with it.
starchly believed it wasn't suicide before, and now you're like, fine, guess
This is
I'll let you
friggin'
prove it to me
annoying.
that it's not a suicide. But
If you
No,
guys
so-
say
literally.
you're doing
so
it,
hard to
there's
sway.
no way I'm gonna back out.
Hey, Monokuma, you
To be
heard
fair,
us.
it's all
The
of
voting's gonna have to wait.
how
We've
old are
come
they?
this far.
Roughly, like
Let's work
High
hard till the
school?
very end.
high school
If
years?
we work
I'm
together,
sorry.
everything should be all right. That's what I
I
believe.
understand.
wait, I was basing the order of events off of Byakuya. So if that's not Byakuya, well, I mean, they wouldn't have had the killing school life in the files if that didn't happen first. So I guess no matter what way you look at it, it's the first game happened
Aw,
first.
Splendid. You guys are so splendid right now. That's right. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you.
Okay. All your hopes are united, no despair can shake you, huh? Now that I think about it, Nagito said the same thing. The absolute hope that can overcome any despair, said he was yearning for that. Then the situation we're in might be the thing that Nagito wanted all along. No, never mind. I'm probably overthinking. Okay.
What are you?
This is the halfway point.
No, no!
I think we can go for like 20 more minutes, maybe. Well, if you think about it rationally, there's no way it was gonna happen. We haven't done this bit yet. Most of the players probably figured that out, too. You're the only one who didn't know. Isn't that right, Monami? Hey, how much longer are you planning to sulk? Let's get along like we always do. Alright, you passed. Friendship is measured by how long you can stand the silence when you're all alone with someone else. So, Monami and I are the bestest of friends.
Don't say such stupid things. I hate you so much right now.
Enough. Why do I always have to be hated so much?
Besides, the fact that you snap at me like that, I don't trust you at all. Not even a teensy tiny 1mm bit.
How sad. Distrusting your friend is much more shameful than being betrayed by that friend, you know.
We aren't even friends in the first place.
Then as your older brother, let me say this.
You're not even my brother.
It's sad to live a life without friendship. That's even sadder than watching a high school rom-com full of guys.
Well, there may be some demands for that. I fell for it. I totally took the man bait.
Sometimes I wonder why you two speak.
Sometimes I wonder why I speak.
Because you're cute.
You
Back into hell.
can't be gay, there's a
Monami.
murder.
By now, there's nothing more for me to say. Anyway, my chest is full of pride right now. Everyone is united against despair. They're totally awesome. That's why I'm gonna fight too. I will fight the only way I can. I'm gonna show that guy my fearsome retaliation. That's basically it.
Thanks, man.
So if we're working together, where do we start? With the cause of death missing from the Monokuma file?
Why don't we try removing all our preconceived notions before we discuss this? In the beginning, our discussion advanced by assuming Nagito's death was caused by the spear. It's better to confirm if there are any other possibilities. That's what I think.
Other possibilities.
Poison. The only
If
other
something
possibility.
other than a spear killed Nagito, all I can think of is the knife stabbed into his hand, but...
That was definitely a gruesome wound. But
I'm just trying to figure out where the
wouldn't be
gas
the
mask
fatal wound,
comes
don't you
into
think?
play because it's in his room. Couldn't fucking used it like during that whole sequence.
If you think the cuts on his legs and left arm aren't the fatal wounds,
Are we finished already?
I feel like it's possible that we overlooked something.
Overlooked, huh?
Then let's bring up whatever we can think of, one after the other. That might clear some things up.
Exactly! We should cooperate at a time like this.
The fatal wound that wasn't the spear. We don't even know if it actually exists, but if it does, we need to find out what it is no matter what. We have one option.
Poison,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Let us consider a different fatal...
It's not the knife in his. It's not the other wound. With all those wounds, maybe he simply bled to death.
There's no way he burned to death.
Was a cause of death something that cannot be seen?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's it. I totally forgot about that possibility. If the cause of death was something we can't see, then we have to consider poison as a possible method.
Poison? It is true that poison is
Like the
not
poison
something we
in
can see,
Nagito's
but
fridge.
why did you bring that up all of a sudden?
That still means he killed himself, unless he somehow managed to rig it that someone else did it on accident. Does it have to? Do they have to have murderous
I found
intent?
a bottle of Monokuma's
Or does it
special
just have to be
poison.
them who did it?
poison?
Additionally, that's a poison made specifically for killing.
What the fuck else is poison made for? It's poison!
Now that you mention it, there's no way a toxin like that doesn't relate to the case at all.
If poison was a cause of death, it would not leave an obvious wound on Nagito's body.
However, it's common for blood blotches to appear on a body that's been poisoned.
I see. You sure seem to
Covered
know a
in
lot
blood,
about
how are we gonna know
medicine.
that?
What does that mean?
But even if blood blotches appear, if the body was already covered in blood, there's no way
Can't tell
we'd
the
notice
difference.
them easily, right?
Did he wound his body just to camouflage them?
That's also a possibility.
But still, both of Nagito's hands were full. So how would he drink poison?
His left hand was
I don't
tied
think
up
he
and
drank
gripping
it.
the spear, and his right hand had a knife stuck in it.
If it was a slow-acting poison, it is possible he consumed it in advance.
No, the warning label on the bottle explicitly states the effect is instant.
So he dropped it as he died.
Then it's impossible.
Caused
Both
his
hands were
hands to
full just before he died.
release.
And this is when the hardtail appears.
Which caused the spirit
Totally
to fall.
overvaluing
means-
that tail.
Well, then that means that someone else definitely did accidentally poison him. Oh! Wait, maybe... Do you think the poison was in the fire grenades? Maybe? That they threw it? But then that would make everyone the killer!
His mouth was covered with duct tape, you know. If he wanted to drink poison,
suggested the
how'd he
fire
get it
grenades?
past his lips?
I don't remember.
There's no way he
It's
could have
been a
drank
while
the
since I
poison.
played this game last.
It might be impossible.
I think I remember who suggested fire grenades.
Who was it? Wasn't it Akane?
Just kidding. It's
No,
not like we're out of possibilities yet.
Are there any
no,
left?
it wasn't Kane.
Hell no. No matter how you slice
was
it, he was
Chiaki.
totally killed by that
Well,
spear.
I don't see how it could be swung that this is her fault.
I feel like someone is gonna somehow flip this, and it's
Since
gonna.
we've already ruled out so many possibilities, it might be easier to think about.
Well, that's the
what
only thing I can
really
think
killed
of. Is like the fire goes out, so you toss the fucking fire grenades in. Wouldn't they have heard the spear fall by that point, though? Or no, they turned it off
Operation
after.
Elimination method. A
Yeah.
hint should be written on the poison's warning label. Maybe.
It was a gas. Fucking logic dive, Jesus Christ.
When it's exposed to like the sun, or wasn't it heat?
Okay.
So when they threw the fire grenades, that would be exposing it to heat, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that it would turn into a gas and instantaneously.
I feel like this
kill
wouldn't be
them.
fair to Chiaki. To be like, yeah, you did it because you suggested that you put out the fire. I don't think they can like say.
I don't trust them though.
I don't feel like that is a good call to say that she's a killer. You know what I mean? I feel like Monokuma's never pulled that shit.
Gas. Okay, so the poison was in gas.
Which is what I figured. Ah!
That's to say, the poison when it killed him.
Ah!
Was that the question?
Fucking, I don't know. I don't know what the question is anymore.
I've already forgotten the question.
There's gonna be a new question. Ah! I thought that was the end. I thought it was question time. Ah! Fuck! Couldn't reach it.
Tag yourself.
This sucks. Okay. Oh, this sucks. Okay. I'm just gonna like go slowly. Eh. 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 This sucks. Fuck Logic Dive.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, whatever the fuck that game
That's
was.
poison.
Looks weird here.
There's wounds?
There's
Well, could be the wounds or the nose, I guess. They were both. I guess it's the nose.
It's the nose, because his mouth was covered, so it's his nose.
Well, I mean, I figured it could have been the wounds. I knew it wasn't the mouth.
What if it's... Yeah, it can't be the mouth, because the mouth had duct tape on it. Unless he soaked the duct tape in... Oh, never mind. I was right. Okay.
Logic Dive sucks. I'm not a pro skater.
Tony Hawk, we need you.
It's just 2 questions. Okay, cool. This was worth my time.
It's all coming together.
Is it?
Is it really Hajime?
We really need the
What
Logic
if
Dive for
instead of
that?
drinking the poison, we assume he inhaled it.
Inhaled?
It's written on the poison's warning label.
He snorted it, like Coke.
I mean, weren't the fire grenades messed with? Didn't they say something about that?
Yeah.
So it was very dangerous when vaporized.
Dangerous when vaporized. In other words, breathing in the gas is fatal.
Poison gas! Then all he had to do was breathe
Wouldn't
in
it be
through his
gone
nose.
by the time that they walked in?
Yeah, well... Because it would have... The sprinklers
That
went off.
poisonous gas
Oh,
inside the
yes.
warehouse? But if poisonous gas had spread throughout the
Oh,
warehouse,
okay, well, maybe I should
why
just
didn't
let
it
them
kill
speak.
us?
Mahi has
I
the
see.
answer.
The sprinklers in the warehouse. Thanks to those, we didn't inhale that poison gas.
I'm trying to
Poison
figure out how
gas
this is gonna get
disappeared
spun onto
because of
someone
the
else.
sprinklers? It wasn't the fire?
Well, this was also written on the poison's warning label.
When a gaseous state's heavier than air, it breaks down in minutes and is susceptible to hydrolysis. Possible for you to poison someone to death without any complications.
Of course! Hydrolysis!
Oh,
The
that's how you
chemical
pronounce
bonds
it.
that formed the
Understandable.
poison were broken down by the water from the sprinklers.
I'm
Also,
so smart!
Poison is
Yeah, you are.
apparently denser than air, so it probably didn't affect us because we were standing.
But Nagito was laying down, so he must have breathed in a whole bunch of it, huh?
If it
'Cause
meets
it
the
would've sunk to the
requirements that
floor.
well, maybe it's not just a possibility anymore.
Yeah,
It's probably a
the
fact.
true cause of Nagito's death was poison. The wounds on his body, the spear in
I
his
need
stomach,
more
it
information.
was all to keep us from learning the truth.
So what?
Huh?
What the fuck,
We figured out
Kazuichi?
that Nagito died from poison, but so what? In the end, it doesn't change the fact that he committed suicide, right? Then enough already!
Nagito inhaled the poison he prepared and died. Yeah, that still sounds like a suicide.
Unless someone else
Well,
accidentally
with
triggered
this,
it.
we have a clearer picture. We've also determined the true cause of death. All right, all the mysteries should be solved now. We should get on with the voting time, right?
No.
Well, but
What? There's still more?
I mean, not all the mysteries have been solved yet. In the end, Nagito's motive is still unclear. Did he commit suicide just so he could kill every last one of us? Was that really his motive? Is that really okay?
Hey, what happened? There's no reason to wonder about that stuff anymore, you know.
Yes, there
Nagito's
is.
motive. Nagito's malice. Is this really okay? Can we really finish this here? No, that can't
There
be.
might have been an accomplice.
Huh?
Chiaki, what did you just say?
If Nagito committed suicide by inhaling poison that he brought, then why wasn't there anything that looked like poison at the crime scene?
Anything that looked like poison?
If Nagito brought poison to the warehouse, it's strange that we couldn't find it there.
Nagito really brought poison to the warehouse, and the thing that would have been left behind is the container. The meat on the bone!
are you talking about the container the poison was kept in?
Meat on the bone!
My bone! Are you talking about the container the poison was kept in?
Yeah. If Nagito
Oh my
brought
God.
it, it's strange we couldn't find that container anywhere, right?
We gotta bring it back to trial 1, guys.
Can't carry around poison
Finally.
without putting it in a container?
Yeah, that was written on the warning label.
Yeah, let's read the warning label again. Keep it secure, away from sunlight.
The container probably melted in the fire.
It's probably plastic or glass, right? There's no way it'd completely incinerate. Even the plastic fragments of the fire grenades we used to put out the fire didn't completely burn up, you know?
So it wasn't the fire
Then,
grenades.
does that mean someone got rid of the container?
So that's why you mentioned an accomplice.
Because time of death was noon, right when we walked in.
That is impossible. I mean, an accomplice?
But I mean, how is that gonna get blamed on anyone else?
Like, does that really matter all that much?
I don't feel like
Kazuichi, I'm voting you out.
I mean, even if he
Like,
had an accomplice,
if you say Chiaki's the one who suggested the fire grenades, I'm sorry. Nagito put the poison in there.
I know,
Chiaki,
but still, but even
Chiaki
if
was just trying to
that-
put out the fire. She wasn't trying to kill somebody. I feel like that's unfair.
To be fair, I understand that it's unfair, but also
I
that
don't
would
think you
make
should
her.
be blamed for that. I don't think Monokuma would go that far. Well, I mean,
was a little bitch boy.
I know he's a little
Someone might
bitch
have
boy, but I
accidentally
feel like
took it away from the crime scene.
that's just a boring ending.
Ah, you're right.
Yeah, but I
You're
feel like that's
totally
what he would
right.
do.
That's totally it.
Right? Isn't it okay to close this case yet?
Kazuichi, shut
I'm
up.
not in the mood for unexpected twists.
This whole game is unexpected twists.
I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to get hurt anymore by hurting someone else. Everyone's tired of doubting everyone else. I also feel that way. That's why I just want to rule this as Nagito's suicide. If I do that, nobody here has to get hurt. But
That's no good.
Huh?
I feel like Nagito is seeing through us. By calling this Nagito's suicide, we're trying to take the easy way out so we don't hurt anyone else. But if Nagito was here right now, he'd probably be sneering at us. He'd probably say something like, "So that's the extent of your hopes."
So Nagito's ghost is whispering to you, huh?
sure.
Yes.
The power of friendship bursts beyond death, huh?
What the
A fiery outcome like this is right out of a teen manga.
Says the fucking
Still,
anime
that's
villain I look
pretty
an
messed
ass.
up.
Shut up! You just be quiet.
I
Both of you
get
be
what you're
quiet.
saying, but in the end, the reason he died is still the same as before, right? Even if we solve this mystery, the conclusion won't change at all.
I mean, it'd be a suicide regardless, right?
Even if there really was an accomplice, Is there any reason we should take the time to figure out who
Because it had to be in the fire grenades, because if you remember, he made sure that there was nothing else that could put out the fire. There's no
Yeah.
fire extinguisher, only fire grenades. So it had to have been in there.
Hiko said earlier, it is possible that somebody accidentally removed the poison from the crime scene.
But I just can't imagine ending this by turning our backs on the truth.
No one would have
It's fine, okay?
stolen it from the
There
crime
are
scene on
some things we're
purpose.
better off not knowing. And we probably just didn't notice it. Like maybe the container was hiding with the fire grenade fragments.
What is this feeling just now? What is this feeling? So sudden and new.
So sudden and new.
There's Nagito slapping me on the back of the head. What Kanase just said might be a new clue. Yeah, it's the fucking fire grenades. It's the fucking fire grenades. It's the fucking fire grenades! No! No more! Oh god. Oh. Jesus Christ.
I got it!
Shit sucks!
Got it. Imagine if Hajime yelled,
see.
"It sucks!"
I got
and the same energy as he yelled, "I got it!"
Yeah.
The fire grenades! Nagito put the poison inside one of the fire grenade canisters
Or
and
all of them.
transported it to the warehouse.
He used one of the fire grenade canisters?
Yeah, the container with the poison in it wasn't secretly taken away by someone. Instead, it was in a container that didn't need to be taken away in the first place.
What if he... Oh no.
As long as he put the poison in the same container he brought to the warehouse, it can be hidden with the other fire grenades we used, so there's no need to dispose of the container later.
Bastard. He totally knew we were gonna throw those fire grenades.
Which means, did Nagito exchange the contents of a fire grenade?
Yeah, that has to be it.
When I first discovered those fire grenades, I tried to study them a little bit, but the canister was completely sealed shut by a layer of aluminum underneath the lid.
Ah.
You just have to peel off that seal and swap the insides, right?
That is true, but there was no sign he was even at the break room.
Hold on. Did you say aluminum?
Yeah, that's a sign he was at the break room.
Could it be?
If so, then there's no mistake. Nagito definitely swapped the contents of one of the fire grenades.
Seriously? That's impossible. Miss Sonia just said so right now.
Shut your fuck, Soda.
Sonia's words are proof that the poison was swapped with the contents of a fire grenade.
Huh?
I can prove it with this. Take a look. We found this under Nagito's bed when we were investigating his cottage.
Huh? That's just a piece of trash.
No,
Nagito.
that is not just a
She
piece of
just
trash.
said.
The seal I saw on that fire grenade matched this. It is the same aluminum.
You found the aluminum seal under Nagito's bed?
There's more. That's not the only thing we found in Nagito's room.
No
We
poison.
also found a gas mask and gloves under his bed, too.
Did
Okay.
he use those when he put the poison inside the
sense.
fire grenade?
Yeah.
It's a dangerous poison after all. He took extreme caution when swapping it.
So what's the issue? Nagito put the poison in the grenade canister, brought it with him, breathed it in and died, right? So in the end, he still fucking committed suicide. Enough already!
You're right. If the canister wasn't thrown away, then it just means that there wasn't an accomplice after all.
See? I told you. The conclusion is still the same. Nagito committed suicide. And
If I had to rule it at this point, I would rule that it was a suicide. Like,
Yeah.
everything
but
else
I
be
know-
damned. I know they're not gonna.
I admit
It's
that there
fucking
wasn't an
suicide. Come on.
That was just my misunderstanding.
You're right.
In actuality, the truth is even more horrifying.
What did you say?
Hey, What are you planning to say now?
What the hell? Do you still want to keep going?
Is this not settled? There is no denying that Nagito's death was a suicide.
No, it's not.
Chiaki?
I'm sorry, but I just realized it.
Realized what?
We know Nagito used the grenade canister to store the poison, so when was it deployed in the warehouse? When did Nagito breathe in the poison?
When it
When
got
I thought along
thrown.
those lines, that's when I realized it.
The horrifying truth?
It probably happened at the same time.
Oh, the fire grenades were brought in moment B. And we all threw the grenades.
I see! Are you saying it was when we all threw the fire grenades?
Yeah, I think so. When we all threw the grenades to put out the fire in the warehouse, the poison was deployed. And it converted to poison gas and killed Nagito.
If that is true, then the person who brought the poison and spread it was...
One of us.
What the heck?
One of us threw the poison grenade that killed Nagito?
Hold on a sec. Then Nagito was...
It would mean he didn't kill himself.
He did. I'm sorry. I know the route they're gonna go is that whoever threw that grenade is the one who fucking killed him. But I mean, come on, he killed himself. This is a fucking suicide.
Yeah,
Then who
I
killed
know. It's
Nagito?
gonna...
Fucking Danganronpa.
Who's the actual killer, right?
It's a suicide. He planned everything. He's the mastermind behind this death. And in any other game, the mastermind behind what happened is the killer.
I'm really
Who prepared
thinking
the
so
poison
hard.
fire grenade that killed Nagito?
Nagito.
I see!
Do you?
It was
'Cause I
Nagito,
don't.
obviously. We just discussed this a few minutes ago.
Then who set the warehouse fire that caused one of us to throw the poisoned grenade?
Akane.
Nagito.
Technically
see.
Akane. But I mean,
Technically Akane, but
she said it. He set it up, but Akane started the fire.
Hey, how many
Yeah.
times are you gonna ask the same damn question?
The next question will be my last.
don't be rude.
Considering all the facts up till now, why did Nagito set the warehouse on fire?
For fun.